So, um, I've been thinking about my pedal board for the past few months. Um, I don't really have a lot of pedals, but I thought I'd go ahead and buy some type of casing for my pedals so I can easily carry around my pedals from my home to the studio to the rehearsal or even the live gig. So I purchased a hard case um, that well the measurements of the case itself is kind of like maybe a little bit overkill for me today, but I have plans to upgrade my pedals, and in the future, if I have a lot of pedals, well, maybe I'm not using them at the same time, but if I just want the pedals to be there, then I got a case that I can fit in all these pedals in. So um, let's go ahead and take a look. The pedal board looks like a total mess right now. Some of them are not even hooked up in there. Some of them are not supposed to be there. So I'm desperate need of doing something about this. Well, maybe not today, but in a very close future. So let's take a look. That looks like a total mess. So basically what we got here, uh, I'm not using all of these pedals right now. That's the power source for a few of these pedals right here. What I'm using today is actually what's very unique about this stuff. When we are talking guitar pedals, the signal is not going from the right, from the left to the right. It's actually going from there to there, and that's kind of unique because most stuff starts here and ends there. But when you're talking guitar stuff, special pedals, it starts there and it ends there. This is of course when we are speaking about before the amp. When you're putting the pedals in a loop before the amplifier on your guitar cable. If you're hooking them up in a effects loop or something like that on your amplifier, is exactly the same thing, but it's a total different thing if you have, for instance, a loop switcher. When you hook up all the pedals to one big pedal with a lot of stumps on there, so you can basically choose what pedal you want to use. That's a total different story. But anyway, here I got my Korg pitch black tuner. I got my Dunlop Wawa. Got my Black Star metal pedal right there. I got my Boss noise suppressor right there. This is my Boss Super Chorus. It's a great pedal. I love this one. And this is a prototype that I built myself. It's actually a tremolo. This is the first tremolo prototype that I ever built. It's a great pedal, and it's a lot different than the other models that I built. So this is basically what I'm using. All pedals are powered up with the T-Rex fuel tank right there, except from this one. This one needs 22 volts, and the fuel tank can only give 18 volts at the most. And that's actually on this one right there, 9 or 18. So that's what I'm using right now. But as you can see, I have a lot more pedals. I have plans to using this one. This is a low budget EQ. It works great. I have plans to actually use this one. This is also a great pedal. I had it for kind of like 20 years. Well, yeah, I actually think it's close to 20 years. 15-20 years, I don't know. Is there any date on these ones? Made in Taiwan, well, not made in Japan, so I think maybe it's 15 years then. Anyway, this is a great pedal. This one is not going to be here, this one is not going to be here, that one is not going to be here, and that one is not going to be there, but this one I have plans to have in here. So I'm actually thinking about, to making this easy for myself, I'm actually thinking about a looper switcher right here that I can possibly, I wanna maybe I'm gonna go ahead and build one myself with perhaps at least 12 inputs in there, so I can easily switch in between the different pedals without reaching my foot on the pedal board. I can just stomp on the each switch on the looper. So that's what I'm thinking about. So anyway, this is a great case, and this is actually the housing for it. Well, the lid, so to speak, with real butterfly lockings right there. So that's great. I don't really remember what I paid for this case, but the dimensions is kind of like 700 millimeters by 480 millimeters, I think it is, and I think it's about 112 millimeters from there to the very highest point, so it's just about a wah-wah pedal fit in there. So that's very good, and this is heavy stuff right here. It's not very easy to carry around all this stuff, so, and I'm using Velcro to get the pedals to stick on there. I don't have it on all pedals, but this one is Velcro. This is just temporary. I also bought some cable here, so I can make custom length on the, so I can make various length on the cables depending on how I want the wiring to be. So that's kind of cool. So this is my pedal board today. Looks like shit, I know, but I will fix this in a very close future. Oh yeah, and that pedal is actually going to be here as well. And this is my homemade A, B and Y pedal. So this one is also going to be here somewhere. I don't know. There we go. Ah, that's good. And this is actually the connectors that I have plans to use to build up my pedal board when doing the cable length correctly. I'm going to solder these connectors on there, 6.3 millimeter mono, just like it's supposed to be. So I didn't just buy one. I think it's actually somewhere around 40 of them right here, maybe 50, I don't remember. I bought a whole bunch of them, so that's kind of cool. So I think these ones are actually great. Not very expensive. It doesn't really have to be expensive if you're not going to plug in them and unplug and plug in and plug, you know, all the time. So if you're just going to plug them in there and it's going to be there all the time, it doesn't really matter what quality it is. This is not the very cheapest ones though, but we'll see how it will work. I hope it will work great. So I noticed that I don't really have any of this kind of stuff right here. So that's what I thought. I go ahead and buy this, especially for my pedalboard. So I bought a lot more than I actually need, because it could be great to have in stock for my future projects. So yeah, that's what it is. A lot of mono plugs right here. So that's good.